The Onuma planning system, using Google Earth to build up a site. This site in Google Earth, as you can see, has some lots that are still under development. The photograph might be several years old. We looked on the internet and found the developer's plans and copied the image to the desktop. And then in Google Earth, we use the option to add an image overlay. And you go and find the image. And bring it into Google Earth. It doesn't come into scale. So if you leave the info box open, you can actually move this image around by selecting the green square in the center and even turning it more transparent to see the background. With some adjusting, you can actually change the scale of this too. It's a little bit of a trial and error to just get the right scale. So you have to use an underlying image. You can see some of the clues below this image. There's a rail station there. I can keep on positioning it till it fits on the underlying image in Google Earth. I could still turn on the transparency or off the transparency. And with this, you can actually start zooming in and seeing the proposed blocks now layered in on top of Google Earth. The significance of this scaling is that anything that's drawn on top of this image now is georeferenced into the correct scale. So if I were to draw this new block in Google Earth, let's say we're focusing in on this block 4. So in Google Earth, I'm selecting the polygon tool, and I'm just going to roughly create an outline of this block. Since we do not have accurate civil drawings, this is a good starting point at least to do some planning. There's block 4. I'm going to save this from Google Earth as block 4 KML. And now I'm going to jump into the Onuma planning system and import that block into OPS. In OPS now I'm going to go and grab the KML file of block 4 and update this site plan. There's the block 4 KML. Proceed. Proceed. And it updates the site plan and georeferences anything that's going to be placed on the site plan to that area. So there's block 4. I go back now to Google Earth and grab a few more blocks. I'm going to zoom out and grab block 3 the same way. Just going to click, 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 and just being very rough here, but just to get the initial outline of the block into OPS. So there's the shape of the block. I'm going to save that and call this block 3 on my save out as block 3. And jump back into Ops. Let's zoom out a bit. So we have our primary block in OPS. There always has to be a primary block. Anything else that's imported now is just going to be a sketch element. So I'm going to import instead of update the site shape. I'm going to go grab Google Earth sketch element, which could be a line, a polygon, or even a point, and grab this block 3, which will just be a reference next to the block 4 that I'm working on. Proceed with that. Return to site. And now it's going to update the site. And you'll notice that block 4 is still dark like this, and block 3 is a sketch element. So we have 2 blocks in OPS now. I've imported the third block now, and now I'm going to go and grab the background image that we brought into Google Earth as well and bring it into Ops. So I'll go and browse. I had saved it on my desktop as an image, a JPEG file, and we'll call this background study and call it a site plan background, which will bring it back, which will allow us to import it into the site. Once it's uploaded, it shows up on the list of uploaded backgrounds down at the bottom. We'll close this window, and now in our background settings we'll have an option to turn that on. It will not be to scale. If you click on the B button, it actually unlocks the background, so you can drag it around and start stretching it out. We're going to use those 3 reference blocks as a scaling factor. So they're up in the upper left, so we need to stretch this quite a bit to get it into scale. With that, we have it in scale now, and I'll lock the background, and you'll see the polygons on top of the blocks, which are actual shapes, and we're ready to start placing buildings on this site. We have the other part of the image as a JPEG for reference in our work and study in this area. We're going to go back to Google Earth now and save an outline of a building in the same way that we saved a property line. Using the polygon tool, I'm going to click on the 4 corners of this office building and save that. And then right click and save that as a KML file. And jump back into OPS. Same plan we were looking at earlier. In this case, we're going to import a building. So we're going to go import Google Earth building, browse to that building, and open that, import. We know it's 11 floors and it's an office, and proceed with that. So now this will create an 11-story building, properly georeferenced since we started in Google Earth, on top of the site that we were looking at in Ops. So there's that building right there. We can correct the alignment of it is a little bit off maybe, but we can continue to work on that later as well. So one thing you can do right here is we have a building, we can actually duplicate it since it's 2 towers. Office 2. Proceed. And move that tower into position once it's duplicated. So there's Office 1 and Office 2. Let's zoom in on that. And grab this building and move it into the position right there. So now we have a 2-tower scheme of an existing condition, or a proposed condition. Actually, this still has not been constructed, going off of very rough plans which we can continue to refine as we get more detailed plans in place.